All right. Morning, everyone. Good morning, C. Grover over in the chat. Let's get a couple these windows straightened out over here. Yeah, we do. Knock on wood, we've still been doing pretty good on the YouTube chat, so keep the YouTube chat on. I got the window popped up here. Let's go on Michael Pacusa. Okay. Okay, I think we're good there. Let's see. We have, I should have checked this before, but we've got sound in OBS. That looks good. We've got right scene and everything. We should be going on YouTube and Twitch. Okay, we're good there. So good morning to everyone. My name is Tim. I go by FoamyGuy on GitHub and Discord. We are working on some CircuitPython stuff again this morning. If you are new to the stream and you have not caught this before, not familiar with the kinds of stuff that I work on, we'll close a bunch of the stuff from this morning that I was doing. I will take us over to CircuitPython.org, which is the place where you can head if you want to learn more about the project that we're working on. CircuitPython is a version of Python that runs on tiny computers called microcontrollers. There's a bunch of pictures of those types of devices over here. Basically, like on this device, for instance, this main chip here has an entire computer contained inside of it. It's a relatively small computer as far as computers go, but a computer nonetheless, and it can execute Python code. You can save a code file onto it, basically like a thumb drive. It will interpret and execute that Python code, and the code can interact with other peripherals that are connected via I/O pins, like on the side of this one. Some devices have things built in, like a screen and a knob and some Cherry MX keys, or a touch screen and a touch overlay, I should say, and a TFT screen. All these devices come in different shapes and sizes. The kind of core thing that ties them all together is that they all support CircuitPython. Again, is kind of the main thing that I tend to work on stream. I won't say that it's 100%. I do occasionally stream some other stuff. But probably like 90 to 95% of what I stream is CircuitPython related stuff. So CircuitPython.org, you can learn more there. Thank you to Adafruit, hardware and software company based out of New York. This is their website, adafruit.com. CircuitPython is an open source project, but they are funding the people who work on it. They're paying the people who work on the project. There's a team of folks who work on the project full time. There's other people like me who work on the project part time. And Adafruit is paying for our time to develop the CircuitPython project, which is really awesome. Thank you to them for doing that. And of course, thank you to everybody who purchases hardware from them, because of course your sales are what ultimately helps fund them to be able to pay people to work on this kind of stuff. So good morning to Paul Culler. This morning, we are looking at a couple of web-related PRs. I gave a little sneak peek of them yesterday evening. HTTP server, this one is in, which I'm really excited about. Michael, who's in the chat as well on Discord, thanks for tuning in on the chat over there, has made a bunch of improvements to HTTP server library to add more features, to make it better, to make it support more things, to make it behave more like a HTTP server that you might find on Linux or another platform as well. So it's kind of like bring it in line with a lot of features that other HTTP server software supports. So that's really cool. The other one that I have my eye on for today is Ethernet land. We've done testing on this one a few times, and it's my turn again, basically. We have another opportunity to test something on this one. There's also another new PR in this, which I think is really small, so I think we're going to try this first. Doesn't look like it does too much. It looks like maybe just affects the way the reset happens or something. Maybe that will help some of our like Control-C, Control-D problems that we get into sometimes. So we'll give this one a try, and then if we can, leave a review or get it merged if it seems good, and then we'll head back over, try the state machine one once again with the couple of the simple tests and things like that. And then once I have a chance to get that in, see where we're at there, then I'm going to look into this HTTP server. For Ethernet, I'll pull up the camera. There's not a whole lot to see, but I'll at least let you see what I can see. Oh. And I do need to grab things. Let's see. We need to grab the Ethernet featherwing for one. I wonder if the Ethernet can, I wonder if WizNet can work with HTTP server. There is a server in the HTTP library, in the WizNet library. There's an example that's a server, I think. Zoom in a little more. I don't know how we always get off center here, but this is something else. We don't need this really. I wish you could copy paste wires and breadboards. I would love to like keep a copy of this. I feel spoiled by software. But that's not how hardware works. So we're gonna use the feather wing, Ethernet feather wing, and then I have a feather TFT, which is what I've done a lot of the. There is also this feather wing plugged in. I don't think it will hurt anything. I'm not gonna use it. I am actually just gonna take it out, I guess. I was gonna leave it, but oh. I need to grab the Ethernet feather wing, so I'm gonna get that real quick. Focus that as well while we're here. There's an issue currently open about that. Oh, okay, nice. So it does maybe not support it yet, but there's an effort begun, or at least comments around it. And that is plugged into the router. Hardware. Oh, that's on a, so that's chilling on a hard fault. What is the code? Is that the actual code? Does appear to be the actual code. Huh, maybe I'm on a weird build. Yeah. There's no telling what's inside this build. Okay. That's right, this is a different device anyway. Happen to notice it was chilling on a hard fault on the screen there. PCBs are copy paste for breadboards, I guess. Yeah, perma-proto. We got a bunch of those perma-proto breadboards. Definitely need to start finding projects for those things. All right, we don't really need this stuff. This is. This is actually HTTP server stuff. I think it's from a different PR. We're gonna overwrite that. I think it's checked in as a example. We're gonna do the small one first, even though it's newer. I think the small one is actually contained in the big one as well. I think the big one also has this fix, but if this fix stands on its own, it'd be good to get it in, even if the other one's not ready to go yet. WizNet, we probably have WizNet cloned. Maybe see it, but I'm starting to get a big list. Yes. I've changed one, which is interesting. DHCP state machine. So I'm on the branch from the other PR, but I also have modified it. That's what the blue here is saying, that there are uncommitted changes inside this file. We could see them if we went git show diff. Actually, seems to be. Oh, there it is. Okay, I added some print statements. Fair enough. We'll roll that back though, just so we're back to the date of the PR. And then what we really want is the other PR. What our remotes look like: get remote rename origin Adafruit get GHPR list GHPR checkout 1. Now we're going to take this version of the library that's from the PR. We're going to put that on our device. Paste. Breadboards and wires. Yeah. That's the thing, I guess, is just the volume of breadboards. If I just had a case of breadboards and a never-ending supply of wires, then I pretty much do have copy-paste. Although at some point it's just like storage too. Shouldn't be storing all those breadboards half connected together with stuff, but okay, so just want to get the simple test, I think. Probably have to tweak a few things like spy. I think we should do a spy bus. That be all we need. Save. The test client. Got any blinker lights? Touching text. We got an IP. We got text. Got JSON. You have saw an orange blink down there. There's another one. We got green going as well. Okay, so we're looking good on that. And then I'll do, I guess, Control C, Control D. See if we get another success. Yeah. A couple more. So then I think, if I recall correctly, one of the ways that I was more likely to get into the wonky state was saving an edited file and then having this thing restart because of the file change. Oftentimes it would be CodePy, but I don't think it was always that either. So let's change this, and then so technically we're already done, I guess. Maybe that's all right. Let's save that. Yeah, there we go. Changed this. So yeah, I was before, like when I would change the file or restart a couple of times, we would eventually get to a state where I had to restart with the button, the reset button. It was like, I forget the exact error, something DNS didn't work, no response. I don't remember the exact error. It's in the issue somewhere. But I don't think we have that anymore. Got several restarts in a row so far. I'll edit the file while it's running instead of when it's done. So I'm gonna start it. I'm gonna erase some stuff. I'm gonna save it while it's running. Save it again while it's even more in the middle of running. Yeah, we're looking pretty good. We can do maybe one more of the other tests or something. What are the? Let's do the server test, I guess, right? Oh, There's a client here. Okay. Get Mac, get static. Okay. Let's try this one. So this is like similar to HTTP server, the library we'll look at. But that library has got more going on for it. And this only supports WISNet Ethernet, whereas that HTTP server library can do Wi-Fi and theoretically other stuff eventually as well, including or I guess this is using WSGI. Okay. WSGI. Okay. It's not doing, is it doing a static? It's not doing a static IP, is it? Look like it will need to change this. Whoops. Been too much JavaScript today. Or 6. Is there an index? Supposed to be. Maybe the... Oh, you know what? It's doing HTTPS by default. That's like maybe stuck doing HTTPS, I wonder. Oh, actually that's inside. Okay, that one actually went through. Not quite get a response though. Like I messed it up by doing... Oh, you know what that is? The address bar. The address bar hit it. The address bar hit it before I put enter, so that it could pop up context about it, although in this case it doesn't know anything. So me entering fails, but like the browser sending a request in anticipation of me doing it is succeeding? Seems really weird. Oh, it did succeed eventually. Wow, that took a minute, didn't it? Let's look at one of the other ones. Want to do large, maybe LED. Can change the LED color potentially. LED, let's go 55, 0, 255. Pull DHCP leaves. Be interesting to put a prince inside of here. See how fast it's going. No, it's really slow for some reason. Turtle, look at that. Mozilla drew a turtle on it. Can you believe that? Rude. That didn't show up in the history for some reason. I don't know why. Oh, yeah, it did. It's this one. But it thinks it's a file. Weird. It did turn the light on, too. We have a pink LED on down here now. Okay. I don't know about the speed. The speed seems weird, but I don't think that's related to the change. I guess we could try the currently released one and see if it does it too, or... Currently the LED is actually blue. Not sure what set it to blue. It's green. "20 seconds. Like, interesting. It does eventually show up though. There's our green set right there. It was right around that 20 seconds again, I think. 20.53 seconds is very, very similar. That's a little suspicious. I wonder if there's like a 20-second timeout somewhere that's getting confused or something. Anyway, though, I don't think that's related to our current change. We will try simple server also. By bus. DHCP. I want a promotion of my channel. You want to offer promotion of my channel? I'm good, thank you. Price is lower than any competitor. Cool. I gotta ban you though. The ban icon. Which shadow weird. Are you for serious right now? Am I like... Layout 1 created? I didn't create a layout. I want to ban a person. Show mod icons. Why on earth would that be turned off? The pop-ups are outside of the thing, so you can't see it. This is... This is a little triangle up there. That's a pop-up. It's a pop-up that we can't see because it's outside the thing. I don't remember which one is which. I guess probably this is banned? Hopefully that's banned. Message deleted? Banned. Okay. Alright. That detour is over. Alright. Oh, that's really weird. Why did it get a new IP? Oh, you know what? I think it gave a new MAC address, probably. Yeah. I think the DHCP is like dictionary of MAC addresses to IPs, and I think it gave a different one this time. So it got a different IP. It's kind of weird. So then we'll use that simple client, this one. Don't want that, we want 1.208. Be all we need, I think, actually, so save that. Sent bytes, there we go. They showed up on that side. Connection closed, it's accepting a new one. It's in a for loop, so it sent another one. Stop that. And leave that running or stop it, doesn't really matter. Cool. I think that seems good. Got the wrong browser. I guess we should maybe run a more stock. Well, this one might be on a more stock image, actually. That was the other device that had that other image. I'm gonna go ahead and release with that one as well. But I am gonna take a look at the next one. The next one's good. We may merge it as well, but it's nice to make a release of each one just so there's like definite historical kind of context. I grab a different change to new contributors. That's actually a pretty decent thing. I don't know how Dan generated this though. Did he do all of this by hand? I'm gonna grab the one that looks more like the old ones. So that's gonna be 242, I would say. It doesn't change the API. It doesn't really add new functionality. It's just a bug fix. It increases the reliability, it seems like, during restarts, but doesn't like change the way that you use the code. There shouldn't be anything broken that didn't used to be. Reset fix for, what is it? W5500? Is that the name of the chip? W5500. .242, definitely higher than 241. Definitely the tag of the last one. All right, now let's try this one. We'll get the latest version by going back to the repo. And I have a change in here again. Did I? Oh, yeah. Okay, I guess we undo that. Maybe it might be nice to edit this to accept an IP as a an argument in the command line when you run it. Like you would run Python, the name of the file, and then space, and then give it an IP. That might be kind of cool. And if you don't supply it, then you get the default. All right, we want to grab the latest one. Which we want to do from the terminal, GHPR list. I'm going to delete this branch. I don't think it matters. I think if we ran the command, we would. I think it would update it for us, but I'm not positive. So I'm going to delete that. I'm going to go GHPR checkout 95. We will copy the library, delete the one on our device. I'll go back to simple test while I'm here. You do want the board spy. Would fail because it doesn't have WizNet library. Okay. Got an IP, nice and quick. We got our first response, got our next response. A reset. Good again. We can let's do like you allowed to call that again? So JSON data time. Updated. We save the file, causes the reset. Nice, got an IP. Response, and then we printed the one specific field, our response there. This is looking pretty good as well. I think what I'm going to do is just leave a comment on this one saying that I tried it out with the simple test and that it is working with that. And that I will plan to come back and do some more thorough testing. But I definitely have a good feeling about it. Because we did, like, in the prior... I mean, for anybody who hasn't seen the prior tests I've done, it was, like, pretty starkly... I could get, like, one success, and then resets after that would be a no-go. I'd have to reset the device. And it seemed like it was caused by... Or I should say caused when I changed the code. I don't think it was caused by changing the code. I think it turns out the reset was messed up, so it wasn't resetting properly, it seems. And then, like, when the code saves, it causes the device to reset. If the library can't reset the Ethernet chip correctly, then when that microcontroller resets, the Ethernet chip is not getting properly reset, and so definitely makes sense why it could get in a broken state. Save this after it succeeds the first one. Just like try to get it right in the middle there. Nice. Looking rock solid to me. Yeah, I think I'll give it a closer look later on. The other thing is there's a lot of change to the code, and I never really have gone through the code too much. IRC. Maybe once a long time ago, but it's definitely been a while. But I've been doing a lot more testing than looking on this one. It does have an approved. Did I approve it? Or I think it was approved from before. Somebody else looked at the code. There's been a lot of back and forth on this one. Brent approved it back in February. It's definitely changed a lot since then. It might be worth review. I don't know how to do a Miss Stale or whatever. I see that pop up sometimes, but I don't know how to actually do it. Okay. Awesome. Oops. HTTP server. So we have new features, basic and bearer authentication options on the server at a per route level. So for folks new to like HTTP servers, there's a couple of types of authentication that can happen. One of them is called basic, where it pops up like a real old school alert dialog box, at least if this is the thing I'm thinking of. and you have to put the username and password into that input. If you don't get it correct, then the server can like choose to not serve you whatever content or whatever, right? So it's like the most basic way to lock stuff behind a login. Bearer is a different kind where it's like would get a token in the header typically. You'd have an authorization header. You'd pass it like the word bearer and then a token. The token would have been given to you by the service that you're hitting, usually hitting the API for. And then it's a similar thing. Like if your token is valid and has permission, then you're allowed to see whatever it is you're doing or do whatever it is you're requesting. Rewritten the logic for MIME types, it's now possible to remove unused. Interesting. Saving memory and register new ones. Remove unused and register new ones. Interesting. Root path in server is now optional. I like that. I saw that a few days ago on one of the other issues. If it's not specified or none, access to the file system is disabled. Yeah, I think that's a really nice touch for sure. Root path. You could always set it to a non-existent thing, but I do like having an explicit none that means like no directory, whether it exists or not, just never serve any files, only serve the function callbacks. Nice touch. Yeah, 52 it looks like is where that's from. Request parameter in handler functions now has access to the server that received it. Interesting. I don't know what you would use that, maybe to get the IP or to get some information about the server in there. Not sure what all is on the server object. Added the ability to stop and start the server again. Oh, that's cool. So you can kind of like pause the serving if you want to go to like a low power mode or something like that, maybe. Option to host multiple servers. Oh. Whoa, that's cool. Interesting. So like, if theoretically you had a CircuitPython device with two different network connections, like one Wi-Fi and one Ethernet, for instance, it would end up having two different IPs, one for each, I don't know the right term, interface, maybe? One for each type of connection, and then theoretically maybe you could run one server on each. Would be a bit fascinating. I'm trying to remember if it was, I think Anecdata maybe at one point showed some photos of a proof of concept that was like a device that had at least 2 or 3 different kinds of network connection. Maybe 3, like Wi-Fi, Ethernet, and cell, like GSM radio or something. I don't remember for sure. Server.route can accept a list of methods in addition to a single one. Routes now respect the trailing slash at the end. Oh, nice. I love that touch. I don't know if it's like... I don't know. So like most of my web framework experience is Django. And Django, from what I've found, it seems to like that trailing slash. Or in my projects, the way they're set up, I've always found I've had a much nicer time if I always include the trailing slash no matter what in all of my URLs. A lot of them usually work without it too, but sometimes they don't. And so I got caught by that when I was testing this at one point, was like I put that trailing slash just by out of muscle memory or whatever, but I hadn't declared it that way. That's a cool touch. Serve forever doesn't raise any errors. It continues to work no matter what. Nice. Send file defaults to root path instead of the root of the file system. Makes sense. URL parameters are now keyword instead of positional. Makes it more flexible. Moved HTTP class names in order to unify naming with other libraries. So e.g. HTTP server becomes server, HTTP request becomes request. Now possible to import directly from HTTP server instead of using multiple import statements for each component. Nice. You would used to have to do 2 imports in order to get two different things, but now you can one-line them, it sounds like. Yeah, these were all on their own lines, but now it seems like there's a way to do them all in one line. I'm understanding that right. Docs, new examples to show previously unexplained usages, emphasize lines. Tried starting multiple servers at the same time, of course on different ports. Not intended, but seems to work. Nice. An example to the docs. Yeah, all for it. All right, let's check this one out. HTTP server, I probably have this cloned already. Whoa. Task, what's a task? What does that even mean? Hey, wait, what was that? There, macro recording. Huh. I didn't know there was macros built into here. I'll have to, I should remember to explore that sometime. I'm certain that's gonna... Certain there are times where that would actually save me time. There are also probably times where I would try to save time and actually end up spending more time, but I have no idea what I was just in. It was like tasks. I saw the word tasks, but no. HTTP server. We are inside docs. I'm gonna go up this. I'm gonna go GHPR list. Yeah, got this. Perfect. GHPR checkout 54. I'm gonna go ahead and overwrite CodePy for now to just say print hello for now, just so it's not trying to connect to the Ethernet. I don't know that it would cause any trouble or not. Better to not have that in the mix though, just in case. Let's take a look at the docs. I'm gonna build here. We're gonna go open in Firefox. Hopefully go to the browser we were already in. Examples now. An example of the way the imports can work now. So then is that, are they still in their own files? This maybe added something to init to make that work, is that right? They are still in their own files. Yeah, these, I think, this is the key. Does this make it so that you import everything, even if you only import one thing? Like, because this one is in init, does it make it so, like, if you were to only import this, are you technically putting these in memory too? Is there a way we could test that? Really, right? Not. Feels like they would, but I will also freely admit I'm not, my actual like Python fundamentals are not really that great as far as like how modules and init and all of these things interact. API reference. Wait for HTTP requests at the given host and port. Does not return, nor is any exceptions raised by the handler functions, and continues to serve. Returns only when the server is stopped by calling stop. Is it possible to get the exceptions to be raised? Is there any way to like to catch those exceptions if you want to? They're imported in server either way. Fair enough. Or from here. Indeed. Okay. Timeout, at which the taco stop waiting for incoming data must be positive integer. Default is 1 second. When it exceeds, it raises OS error with timeouts. Start. Out. Require authentication. So that's probably our new basic authentication, I'm guessing. Slash static. Rejected with 401. Full. So then I assume the bearer authentication, you just grab it from headers and check it yourself. Probably an example. Get the basic one first, I guess. Manual or auto? Is that the IP or? Oh, it's Wi-Fi, okay. Oh, interesting. Is that because like if you have settings toml, which I'm not gonna open, it will automatically connect like for web workflow basically? Is this essentially makes it automatically on the network? Pretty cool, never knew that. All right, so we have just base, which returns explain as response message. So it's just gonna be a text response plain with the string in it. Let's go to run that. Oh, that's probably not what we want. Okay, yeah, we need the manual, looks like. Something else. You have your network set up already somehow. Specified in docs. Same way as basic. I gotcha. In the docs under sockets. Could be a socket pool. My stuff. First example in it's super simple, but I didn't know you could have extra like text in here. For some reason, I thought this was limited to just a list of basically this, like the caption and then the file, and then like maybe a title or something. I don't know, you could have more stuff. That's cool. So that one will manually connect. Okay, I think I know why I might know why the automatic one didn't work. Let me look at something. Fortunately, I can't show you. Oh, what happened? Right? Hard crash? Thinks it's listening, but it's on none. We might have messed it up by not being connected or something. Because now my CircuitPy shows no... Do we have connection to REPL? Oh. Okay, hold on. Why am I... Oh, right, I put this over here. Oh, yeah, no, it is disconnected. And I just heard the doodaloo as it actually getting disconnected now from the OS. That's gone from here. It seems to really not like when you do the automatic one if you haven't done something, which is what I was going to try to look at. Let me see what that something is in my case. Oh, but we don't have a timeout either. Uh-oh. We might... Okay, it shows this stuff. That's good. Oh. Yeah, I think I'm in favor of more error handling on the automatic one. It seems like that automatic one is putting my device into a unresponsive state. So it shows now connected on TO, but I can't, I'm putting Control C. I'm not actually, I think we're not, either we're not actually connected or it's like frozen or whatever. It's not actually getting my Control C's. I suspect probably my rename, guessing my rename didn't work. We might be stuck in this boot loop until we figure out a way to fix it. I mean, not boot loop, but like lockup loop, I guess. Let's try reset again and see if that file, hopefully my rename succeeded. Yeah, it looks like it did. Doesn't have CodePy anymore. It is now responsive again. Okay, 1 second. Now let's look at the actual thing. Okay. Yeah. I do not have... I'm also going to test this way from now on. That way we won't get stuck if we do it again. Should connect to Wi-Fi before running CodePy. So the thing is, I don't have the stuff in there. I do not have these two keys. I have slightly differently named ones. Like, in fact, you can see the difference here. These ones don't have CircuitPython. Or CircuitPy, I guess it is. So I have these ones, but not these ones. And that's when, if we run it, it does that serving on none. So now we go to run it, import code. If this could ever have tab completion with the name of the files. So that's when it goes, it thinks it's serving on none, and then it will be like stuck. Like Control C no longer does anything. Eventually it will notice and disconnect itself, at least that's what it did last time. And then if I reset it, it seems to come back. Luckily, it did allow me to change the file while it was in that state, so we're not actually stuck. Maybe we could check, like, could it check inside of there? Declaration. I mean, it has none for this, so it could just check this, right? Where does that come through? So, but that's, oh, but that's in Wi-Fi though. This doesn't do that, does it? Basically, we need to try to look on this. We need to be able to, from socket source, know if it is real or not, basically. I will fix that. Nice. We'll switch to manual. So those ones I do have. I don't know. Will this let me save? Let me save still. It's a very strange state. It seems like all the file handling is all good to go, but the serial. Oh, you got control back. I don't know what was special about that. I mean, I must have pressed Control C dozens of times. There we go. This one has just slash the base URL, and it's going to return us a string. We are on a new IP again. I think that's also still the MAC address thing. I think it uses different MAC addresses in some of those examples we looked at before. Port 80, technically we don't need that. We could do like this. It should work. Nice. What other goodies we got? So there's let's handle authentication. Does it require? Explicitly require authentication because of server.require authentication. Okay, so that will basically do it on all, I assume on all routes if you have called this. Auths is what auths is imported from. Wait, what is this? Oh, okay, list of authentication method. Oh, okay. This is doing both. I see. Kind of cool. Okay, so then we can go to this implicit require. So let's grab this. This code goes here. We save that. Maybe this always actually just takes control. Actually, I'm not getting Control C right now either. Must be like waiting on a timeout or something. I mean, I suppose it does make sense too. Serve forever. I mean, if serve forever doesn't ever return, I wonder how I got out of it last time. It might be nice if this could listen for keyboard. I don't know, what do they call it? Control C, keyboard timeout, whatever it is. The exception that gets raised by that, it might be nice if that was maybe the one exception that it would allow to bubble up. That way you do have a way to stop it. predictably. Somehow we did stop it before, so I'm assuming eventually there must be a little window in there somewhere where it let us do it, but we got to it before. So I'll just, well, I mean, I saved this, right? I reset when I saved that, so maybe we're actually in a bit weirder of a state. I'll just reset button. Okay, in my case, CodePy doesn't do anything. I'm just gonna go to REPL and import it. This is a good tip, by the way. If you're ever working on something that you think can lock up your device or anything, if you make your CodePy blank. In fact, I don't even have a CodePy right now. I should put one back though. I'm gonna put one back. Make your CodePy blank and then put the code you want to run in another file and just drop into the REPL and import it. That way there's like manual action required to get it to run. So if it causes trouble, you just reset and it's no longer running. We're gonna go CodePy. And then I have it just prints. It doesn't really matter what it does, but I do like to have it do something. That way you can see the output of it and know that it ran. In this case, it doesn't matter. I'm actually just gonna import that. Ooh, or not. It's weird timing. Music cut out at the exact same time as I hit run. We were in trouble for a minute, but Steel YouTube, are you still there? Oh, we're back to none again. Oh, because that one doesn't have manual. Right. Okay. Let me put those things in my settings. You had on 106, it should. Interrupt. That one's we want just return. Maybe print exiting or something. No, you could just leave that to user code also. Save that. There, so I'm just gonna go reset again. That's the one downside with this, is it doesn't save your history. I wonder if there's a way to make TO save history locally or something. I'd love to be able to do up arrow here and get the one from the previous thing. So that's on none. Then yeah, Control C, we're able to get out of it. Nice. We'll do, let me put that stuff in my settings. We'll do it that way. That way we can test out the auto one as well. Docs open? Or there they are, okay. We specify exact settings. Names it should auto-connect. Specify exact. Not sure what you mean. In the, oh, these names here, you mean? If I put these inside my file, I think is what you mean. Which is what I did. Let's see if that. I think, if I import it again, I don't think it gets the latest version. I'm actually just gonna go Control D. Edited times for some reason. Not sure what that was, but now we have an IP. Happens to be the same as this, which is interesting. And then our route was implicit require. Let's go to the base. Let's see what it does on the base. Base gives us the login, which is user and password. They're defined back up in here. Hopefully you'd use a better password in the real world. Sign in. My browser asks me if I want to save it or not. I'm just going to do no. Okay, yeah. So route just says static file doesn't exist, which makes sense because yeah, that's pretty customary. If you don't request a specific file, that it would give you index. So require says there. Oh, that one did go to static. Is that my trailing slash? It is. That's one place where the trailing slash doesn't get picked up apparently, or vice versa or whatever. Like it's treating it as a file instead of the route. And so that says authenticated. That's because I logged in. It's because I logged in. I wonder if I can log out somehow. Not super easily, huh? I think the way to log out would be to delete the saved stuff, like cookies essentially is where that's going to be stored. Should have done a private browser. Incognito, yeah. Should have done that. Login as different user. Huh. Weird. I've never seen that syntax. Log out? Is that gonna work? What do they do? At sign in a URL. That is mind-boggling. You should not do that though, because that's passing a username and password in plain text as part of the URL. So like if you had actually logged in with real stuff here, your credentials would literally be visible in the URL. Yeah, now we go back and we're not logged in anymore. So let's do wrong user, wrong password. This takes us right back to here. It says we're not logged in. Nice. So you can only get the response if you are logged in. You can only get logged in with this one two ways, using basic auth user or password, or using the bearer token. So let's test the bearer token. And make one of these things in here, HTTP test HTTP server bearer. Get from the IP. Yeah, see what that does. Response body is empty. Authenticate. Response code 401 unauthorized. Okay. Yeah, so we got an unauthorized response. If we were in the client, the browser client, it would have shown us the pop-up based on that with the username and password. In our case, obviously, it can't really show us a pop-up because it's like a script that's running. What we want to do is give it the header. I don't know how to do headers. It's been a minute. Let's look at something. PyCharm HTTP client header herder. Headers. Okay, you don't have to put headers. You just put the headers that you want. You don't have to put the word header, you just give it the ones you want. So ours is authorization. And then I'm assuming we need to go bearer, and then we need to have our token. For now though, let's go fake token, not the real token. So we should still get 401. Indeed we do. And then if we go real token, which happens to be this, boom. Nice. Okay, I'll be back in 1 minute. Gotta run to the restroom. Okay. We should also test if we break this. Nice. So you have to have this exact string. Yeah, that's really nice. I like that a lot. Being able to have some level of authentication. Now it's like it's still HTTP, so anyone who can see your network traffic obviously is gonna be able to see your username, your password, your token. It's like we'd have to be able to do SSL on the microcontroller, like server side SSL stuff. We're not quite there yet. Scrolling through this, we don't need this. I have another example. Playlist here as well, real quick. What? Okay. There's methods. You could test this one, which looks like it allows posting and deleting as well. So that is a /API. Also get, post, put, and delete. Objects, what does that come from? Oh, okay, it's just a string. Updated, uploaded, so when you go put or post, it's gonna update it, and then delete would delete it. And it's doing automatic, which we should be good on this point, since I did add it to my settings toml to have the correct. Does this coexist with the web workflow? if you don't use the same URL, I guess. Whoops. Empty page. Here we go. It's weird it didn't do the static thing again, right? Last time... Well, last time it redirected us because it was the authentication. One of the times it tried to serve static index, but this time it doesn't seem to. What did I actually get a 200 or? No, 404. That's fair. Makes sense. Root path is none. Oh. I would have static in here, for instance. And on server, we would go root path static. I'm gonna try this. I'm pretty sure we don't get the latest version. Or it didn't even re-execute, actually. There we go. Okay, now I have a static folder, but there's no index inside of it. So we get that default kind of 404 message if I were to actually put one. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Nice. Updates live too. So I don't have to rerun the code in order to get the latest one. Which means we can just make a change to this. Some Blinka action going here. Nice. Yeah, that's cool that you don't have to rerun it. Okay, but we really were on where there's API, which I did do this. That was working good. So we'll make some more of these things up here. I call that test, this one. Piece server methods. API. Will it be mad if I send it this stuff even though I don't have to? Nope, looks fine. Okay, so get is good. We'll go put. I don't remember how this works to do multiples, actually. Maybe you can't do multiples. Pretty sure you can do multiples somehow. Need like dashes, but the triple pounds? Oh, it is the triple pounds. That's interesting. And then we can do them independently as well. So I can still click run on just get, then I can click run on put separately. Get that. And we can also send data. I think we have to do space. And then like data could be here. Okay, that was a thing that you could do. Pretty sure that will send the data to the server. It on this side somehow. How do we do that? Let's see. Docs. That might be a good example, an extra example. Body. See how we get it. So we would go in here. Request, we would go something like response body is, well, technically it'd be request body. Request.body. Probably that's going to be a string. Request body object. Load the string. Did that erase my parenthesis? This time I do need to rerun it. Oh. Oh. Is there a different command for Control D? Is there a different thing to accept? Make Control D work? It's not that bad actually though, because you could just Control C first. I don't know, that might not be worth messing with. Nice. So we got our data back out of there. Maybe we could do like if you send data, we should say new value. String. Start again. They need to work on this. This would be nice to have a being able to go up through the old ones. Valid syntax. That's fair. It's got a dynamic response now. So, and if we give it, you know, another thing here, it will give us back whatever we put. And if we don't have data, not data. Oops. Failed to respond. Yeah, we got a key error on this. I think we should maybe have a mode. I think we should have a way to see the errors. because I think what happened here is we got a key error because it doesn't have data in it. So I try to print this, it raised a key error, but it doesn't, everything fails silently. What if we had like debug flag or level, like log level type concept where if you enable it, then it will print the errors for you, and then maybe even if you enable it at the highest level, it will actually raise the errors. That way user code can also decide if they want to be able to catch those errors, specific ones or not. I think that might be a nice touch. You could say maybe, so in our case, like if we did accept, just do as E or no? And do we need this? I'm not sure if we need that or not. E. You can try with start or pull. What do you mean? Try to catch. Put try. Put try around. If you don't do serve forever. So instead of like serve forever, you would do start and then you call pull yourself, and then you can try catch. I think it would be convenient to be able to see them at least this way. Because it is, I will say serve forever seems pretty convenient. I could see myself using that over the, like for apps that don't need to do anything else. It's really convenient to not manage the main loop yourself. But if you can't like iterate and troubleshoot your code, then it's a lot harder for sure. Maybe I was wrong though, because it didn't. Data. What did that print from? Data. E.messengers? Oh, what I changed? E. So did print E just print out data here? Data from. It says listening. Exception data. Do we need dot message or? It's really weird that there's not more to it. back to REPL. Let's go D is a dictionary. D data raises key error data. Try D data except exception as E. Print E. Print string of E. Print E dot. I think the second one worked actually. String of E is different than just E. Yeah, message. Print the full exception. This works, but it raises another exception. Well, this one's just part of the one's part of the stack trace, I guess. This one fails, therefore we print this one out. So like this? Is there a way to do this? Maybe there's no way to do this. There was like message. Thinking of. Of course, it raises an exception because message doesn't seem to exist. Right, but it prints out this part. It printed this part too. So like my goal is to print this part, and that succeeded. I found a little bit odd at the time. I kind of get it now because this also failed, and so it printed the full stack trace, which included the other one. But how do I get the string representation of it without actually just having it fail? The stringy. Pause. Trace back. Does that work? That doesn't work, does it? Does that really work? Yes, but not really. Assume this is the same as what we got. Try saving e.message to a variable. Key error message doesn't exist, and then in our case it goes on to print the rest of the traceback, so it does print the part we want, ironically. But this part I know we don't have traceback. I feel like I've gotten better results from this. It must be the way we're doing the... It must be the way that it's like the base error. If we catch key error... Oh, that still doesn't print anything helpful. That is weird. I'm like... I feel like I have done this before, like this. Yeah, I am trying to catch the exception, but print it out. I don't want it to raise. I want to catch it, but I want to still print out this, basically, which is the root of my error. The error that I'm actually having is that I'm trying to access data inside this dictionary, which of course doesn't have data inside of it. This is the basic example. Ultimately will be inside the server, and we're getting it sent through the web or whatever. But none of that part actually matters with this. This is just catch the exception and then print out the error. Even like this line, I would be happy with just this right here too. Even if it's not the full traceback, because I think traceback, you might need traceback module. I don't know. This has an object, so maybe it's in there somehow, but and I'm pretty sure we don't have traceback module to import, but I would love to print even just this would be super duper handy. But instead, all it prints, what it actually just prints is just data. Data by itself, nothing else. I guess that's because of the type. It's printing the type also. Sure, the output you see is not only the string representation of the exception. What? That's closer, kind of. Can we just have the... name? That's pretty good. I'll settle for that. It doesn't raise, it just prints the content of the error. Oh, that's from before, sorry. Now that runs, we send that, and it prints out key error data, which is nice. And that's because we didn't send it data, of course. Right. Okay, but really what we want is like ultimately in our code, we should handle that, right? This is helpful because we discovered that and we went on that journey. If we were really writing this code, we would want to say, well, we just wouldn't have our print here, right? It would be inside of here. That way we know it exists by the time we access it. But this way we get some nice output. You tell us what went wrong. There we go. This time it actually handled everything fine. It knows that data doesn't exist, so it printed that, and then it returned this by itself. It's perfect. If we did actually send data, we run it, and we would get the response with our actual data. Sweet. Okay. I think that I'm going to wrap it up pretty soon. Let's leave a comment just so that my thoughts are like somewhere other than inside this stream. This is really cool, first of all. Thank you again a million times over for working on this. All of this stuff is super awesome. Essentially, let's see, what are my biggest changes? If the user doesn't have the proper CircuitPy Wi-Fi or whatever, I think you said you're gonna fix, so that's cool. I just want to make sure it's like put somewhere down so I remember for myself, honestly, more than anything, so I can go back and check it again. User doesn't have proper, and actually, or I guess, right? Right. I know. But I think since the library has the auto, like in this one where it's auto, it I think should tell you instead of just running and saying none. I think it should tell you because it's not going to work, right? You can't send it a request. Yeah. That I think is perfect. Prevent the starting if it's not connected. Perfect, yeah. Which is the same. And my wording is a bit like you don't have to check for this and this. You can check for the effect of it not being connected. I think that's totally legit as well. I just think in that scenario, when the user comes along and does it that way, it should tell them like, hey, you don't, you're not connected. It would be add a argument or flag some sort that allows serve forever to print exceptions if they occur. Shooting like what are those route handlers? What was the other one? Was there another one? Oh, we did run into the. It's not a change, I guess. I ran into that one. We ran into one place where the trailing slash didn't work. It was on authentication. It's also authentication handlers. We didn't try this one. Yeah, I'll do some more testing as well. I'm gonna head out for the day, but like I'll definitely come back and try out the rest of this stuff at some point. I'm pretty sure it was this one. I can try to recreate it more specifically later on. I'm pretty sure it was this one though. Maybe it's only the other way around. If I'm misunderstanding how that's supposed to work, that's totally fine as well. Like if the answer is just put the slash there, if you want to use it, that's fine as well. If I understood your thing up here, I thought it was supposed to work both ways. If I misunderstand that though, it's not worth like trying to change around to do something different. I think that was it, right? Did we see anything? I saw anything else that was weird. We thought we were getting locked. Oh, the key error. We do want to catch. I think you said earlier as well. Serve forever should re-raise the key. No, that's not key error. Keyboard interrupt. At least optionally. I could even see that if there's a desire to make that optional, I'm cool with that as well. I just think there should be a way to do it. So maybe we'll say should be able, even if optionally, to re-raise the keyboard interrupt. I think that's it. Yeah. Yeah, so I still have lots to test for sure. Like the we didn't even get into a bunch of the different stuff like arguments, chunked, multiple servers. We didn't do NeoPixels. I'll do as well. We didn't do the broken out one like this. I will try this one in spite of like what I said. Serve forever is convenient, I think, but sometimes you want this because you want your main loop to do other stuff. Like if you want to run NeoPixel animations or something, right? You need to do it this way. Test that one out as well. Did I see arguments? Serve files. URL parameters, that's what it was. Just similar to before. Here's from the Beehive State. How's it going, Dexter? I am about to head out. Exception only. Oh, traceback format. So yeah. Traceback format. So that one does work in CPython, but in the context we're actually running, it's actually on a microcontroller device running inside CircuitPython, and it does not, unfortunately, have support for traceback. I'm pretty sure traceback. Oh. Okay. Do we do? What does that do? Import traceback. Traceback dot format exception only. Type E. That one. Maybe we can do this one. I don't know if it probably has different arguments or something. I don't actually know how this works. That one worked, but it basically got us the same. Basically got us the same thing as string. Format exception. What's on traceback? Let's see if I did. That's actually totally news to me. I did not think we had traceback at all. Format exception, print exception. All right, that's definitely the winner. That is definitely the winner. Yeah, thank you, by the way, for putting that in there. I did know about that in CPython. I did not think we had access to that in CircuitPython at all, but we do, and that's awesome. And that, I think, is definitely the best way to handle it inside of there. wherever we caught that thing before. Instead of this number here, it can be traceback.print exception E. This gives you the full thing. Super nice. I wonder when that got added. I swear I have tried that before and it didn't work, but it must be on the either on the newer side or maybe it's specific ports or yeah, I just tried it wrong. Anyway, I'm gonna head out for now. Thank you. Huge thank you to did I submit this? I don't think I did. Let me do that. Huge thank you to make sure Michael Pocusa for working on HTTP server again. This is really super awesome. So I'm definitely excited about this. Hopefully this was helpful to run through it and try out some of the different things. Like I said, I'll get back to it. I will try out the rest, and yeah, at some point, whenever you're comfortable with it, you can put it to you can take it out of draft if you want, and then yeah, we'll just make sure once we get it reviewed, maybe we'll have other folks take a look at it too. It'd be nice to have Dan if he's got time, but we'll see. We'll just make sure whenever we do go to merge it that we for sure update the major version, because that will be non-backwards compatible or whatever. Like, so much stuff changed. So yeah, thanks for working on that. I hope everybody has a good rest of your day and weekend. I will be back certainly on Friday next week for deep dive, probably at some point on Monday, and I will probably pop on sometime in the next couple of days, maybe even later today. We'll see how it goes, to work on something unrelated to CircuitPython. So one of the few non-CircuitPython streams we're working on it's still Python, a Flask web server, and some templating and stuff like that. So if that kind of thing is interesting to you, you can keep an eye out on Twitch for notifications or something when I pop back on for that. But have a good day, everybody, and I will see you all later. Thanks for hanging out.